Hello, welcome to those who stumbled across this. Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, 2nd edition. Another army showcase here with a member of the channel, Saber.
Hello.
Saber has painted himself some Raven Guard, as you can see, and well, we'll just do a little bit of a showcase here. So I guess we'll start with a simple question: why Raven Guard?
Honestly, I didn't really have an idea who I'd play for 30k, and I just kind of looked through the list, and Raven Guard seemed kind of like a neat fit. Plus, when we were talking about it was between them and Emperor's Children. Were the ones I ended up deciding between. And so yeah, I decided to go with the Raven Guard. Mostly because I kind of like the idea of the stealthy kind of guys. Even though mine more or less hold off until the death ball shows up, and that's pretty much their strategy.
That is, it is an effective strategy, let me tell you, dear viewer.
I'm 2-0 right now.
Yeah, so a little bit of interesting thing. Saber, how long has it been since you've painted an army?
It was back in 3rd edition, so I was like 10, 11, and I did Black Templar. To be fair, they kind of reminded me of them with the color scheme. I know Black Templar are actually one of the Imperial Physics excerpt chapters, but black armor's cool. What can I say?
It is cool. I should know. Iron Warriors use black shoulder pads. Cody has a lot of black in his Imperial fists.
And they also have the beaky helmets, which I really like. The Mark 6 helmets. I think those are probably some of the coolest helmets in 40k, so pretty much everybody in my unit has them. My company. We've been fiddling around to see if we could somehow fit one onto a dreadnought, but we're not sure about that yet.
I think I found a way, but that'll be a next phase thing. So what you see before you is 1,500 points plus 2 guys in the back that are not completed yet. So I guess we'll also, as we go through this 1,500 points, I'll ask you about the tactics and why you chose what war gear, so on and so forth. We'll start with your Praetor, with a thunder hammer and a shield. And could you tell us his wonderful name?
I named him Fu Kan Yu.
Yeah, yes, Fu Kan Yu does. He does indeed Fu Kan Yu. He hurts.
He basically wants to get into challenges, and then he bonks you with a thunder hammer. He does have a shield too, but it's just for show.
Well, shields are cool though, so.
Yes, shields are cool.
Yeah, because you run them with. You're running him with the Bane of Tyrants Warlord trait, which is the Raven Guard 1. And that one is the +1 attacks and strength when in a challenge, and +2 when engaged with an enemy warlord. And as it turns out, having getting bonked like 5 or 6 times by a thunderhammer at strength 12 or 14 fucking hurts.
That was the plan. He does. When we played with him, I haven't obviously fought everything in the game yet because there's just a lot of stuff in this game. But the 2 different warlords I've had him bonk, he's one-shot at both of them, basically.
Yeah, he does bonk. And then we got your Librarian, which it's got a nice cool-looking sword with another big, fancy jump pack.
Yeah, so his name is Rezin Moonin. He is the librarian of the 89th Company of Raven Guard.
And because you've made your company the 89th specifically.
Yes. They are a boarding company. Their entire thing is supposed to be kind of boarding. And the reason they have snow bases has to do with the story I did for them.
Yeah, it's an interesting story that we'll get to momentarily. Rezin Moonin here, he's a biomancer, and don't. I know some people have slept on biomancy because telepathy is really strong, but boy oh boy, is that +1 strength they can produce.
And +1 toughness,
And
right?
+1 toughness, yeah. That's it hurts.
Yeah. To be fair, he is basically an accessory for Fukanyu.
They treat you like an item. Yeah, and then next will be your chaplain with his totally not jump pack and his totally not Raven talons.
Yeah, those are Masterwork Raven talents. That's why they look like flails.
Exactly. His flails are cool.
His backpack could also be, a regular backpack if I just didn't want to give him a jump pack for whatever reason. But yeah, that is. So yes, the chaplain is named Navir Hugin. I really like his flails. I think they look cool. Initially, we were going to use them as accounts as uh, the power mace or whatever it's called.
The power maul.
The power maul. That's it. But then I was like, you know what? I think I could probably just have them be Raven's talents and just say they're masterwork.
Yeah, and I mean our group has we're a lot more lenient than some other groups I've been told about. So yeah, we were all just like, yeah, dude, don't go for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like they have stats for fucking power flails. I don't think so anyway.
Not that I'm aware of.
I know they have like a rapier, but that's for the Emperor's children.
And we're not talking about the stupid power whip. Someone in the comment who may or may not think that.
There's a power whip.
It's not. It's for the overseer. Counts as.
Oh. Well, I don't have one of those.
No,
yeah,
don't.
no, he's a chaplain, and those count as dual lightning claws or dual raven's talons. He is also an accessory to the to Fukanyu.
Yeah.
And together with the librarian, they make his Dark Fury squadron insane.
yes, they do. In your one of your 2 games you've done so far with this force, that death ball certainly it does a lot of damage when it gets in.
Yeah, just fly in. I mean, the biggest issue is like the first game I did with them is I didn't get them to show up to like turn 3, and I was sitting there sweating because a lot of my army is on hold until they come in.
Yeah.
Because they're a big chunk of points.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll explain what they do as when we get to them. And the next squad is the shotgun guys.
Yeah, the Mordathan shotgun guys. The shotguns are also real nice, and Mordathan are crazy. That was one of the appeals about the thing is we looked at some of the rules with Raven Guard are kind of meh. Some of their weird Legion trait doesn't really affect anything, but they do have really, really good units.
They do. They really do.
I really like the Dark Furies, and I really like the Mordathans. The Mordathan shotgun guys are my cheaper Mordathan unit. Within the company, they're the kind of the newer Mordathan, I guess you could say.
They're recently up. They've recently been promoted.
Yeah, they're the newer Mordathan. And then the shooting stuff and
the Fatal Strike rule is what it's called.
Yeah, that's it. The Fatal Strike rule just really messes up with your fighting. And then you have the rending 4 up on Fatal Strike is on shotguns. Sure, you have to spawn in kind of close with shotguns, but luckily, even if I don't deploy, even if I don't win the roll about deploying first, I get to deploy after you, which is nice.
Yeah. His whole army, Saber's whole army right here, it all has infiltrate or deep strike, so it's pretty good because he runs Pride of the Legion.
Yeah, so they're all veterans.
Yeah. Then your first squad will be, or the next unit being shown will be the other Mordathan squad. I just skipped a few. Uh, yeah, they weren't. These weren't saved in order, which is my bad.
Next more than
Yeah, but
squad.
the next Mordathan squad with their bigger breacher shields,
Yeah.
which
So
are obviously they're not. They're
who
for
was
show.
who's yeah. So this squad is a Compy Volkite squad. They are real nasty. The Combi Volkite gun is nuts. Each one gets 4 attacks, 2 bolter shots, 2 Volkite shots, and then the Volkite can spread and hurt everything else. Which, in all fairness, I've only gotten like 1 kill with the Volkite spread, but it is nice when it happens.
And the potential's there.
Yeah, and just the fact that I had these guys literally both games just hold down a pretty big force just by shooting it and backing up. Yeah, they're crazy too. These within the unit are like the higher end Mordathans within the company.
Yeah, these are the guys who've been Mordathan for a while.
Yeah, I decided I'd do the Volkite energy as a purple because I'm sure it's kind of been apparent, but one of the things I was really trying to do color wise with the army is because they're white and black. You know, people can be like, "Oh, that's a little boring," blah 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 blah. It's not a lot of colors to work with, so I wanted to have a lot of color in the army, but still have them be, you know, consistent with what the Raven Guard are. And I just didn't want to have like a rainbow army, but I wanted to have lots of color in there. So I have some guns that are different colors. I have, colored wires, colored scopes, things like that. All the leather I've gone with is purple, and all the cloth I've gone with is like a blue.
Yeah, I think it
And
adds
then I
personality.
and then I added the blue ring to the bases because I thought that kind of also helped stand out a little bit. Also, my favorite color is blue, so there's that.
It all comes down to blue.
Yeah, that's why their lenses are all blue too.
Yeah, man, it works. Yeah. To those that are wondering, no, obviously, as Mordathan, they don't have boarding shields. Rule of cool, first and foremost, for modeling.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Those shields are for show.
Yeah, and then
They they don't do anything.
they were also a fucking pain in the ass to print how I set up the file, which is more of a fault on my end than the STL maker, but it is what it is. Saber just used pure Volkites to represent Combi Volkite, which, I mean, I think it looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I really wanted to just have Volkite for some reason, I could do that too with those.
Yeah, I think so.
But they're supposed to be combi Volkites.
It's all about the rule of cool. And then next up will be one of his 2 troop choices there in the army, which is a squad of 5 veterans, all with Nemesis bolt rifles and a
Missile launcher on the sergeant. And the revolver, well, it could be his bolt pistol, or it can be a power fist. Either one you could justify as what it is.
yeah. I mean, revolvers hit hard, especially on a Space Marine. I would assume a Space Marine revolver would hit really hard.
Yeah. I did the pose like that because I think the revolvers are cool, and the standard kind of RPG is not really what you typically see in Warhammer. So I thought that like version of it from the STL looked really really cool. So putting it all together. So I did the rocket launchers in a kind of dark blue gray, and 2 of them are done like that. One of them's done a little differently, and those are to represent the sergeants. Sergeants in each squad also have like the top of their helmets white as another giveaway, and then I try to make them look a little bit better than the rest. Like I want something unique on them, like they'll have a tacit or a cape or a unique kind of looking weapon. That way you can kind of go, oh hey, that's the sergeant.
Yeah, so you can actually spot them out.
Yeah. And yeah, I went with snipers because, well, they literally sit in the back and shoot stuff until my Dark Furies arrive.
Yeah.
And the reason they have rocket launchers is in case they come in with some heavy armor and I need the additional pen.
Yeah. Also just the whole they can just spawn pretty much on the objective is quite useful.
Yeah. It means I'll pretty much always be getting 2 objective points a turn, unless you manage to wipe them out in the first turn, which is a big uh-oh for me.
Oh yeah,
But they do have 2 wounds each, which is nice.
it is nice. And then now will be the next sniper squad.
So this squad, we found an STL for a commando sniper or commando rocket launcher, and I don't know what those are actually called, but I recognize it from the movie Commando. I really like that movie. It has problems, but I do really like it.
Oh, I adore Commando.
And I saw that. I'm like, that's the missile launcher right there for the captain. So he's got that. He's got missiles on his power plant to reload if he needs to. He's basically letting everyone know to be quiet before he starts blowing them up with rocket launchers. It's funny. It's a funny concept.
It is a funny concept. And then there's a man and a sniper. You can see they're dual wielding sniper rifles that are orange, with a slightly different markings on his shoulder pads and helmet.
Yes. His lenses are gold. He's number 64 on his shoulder pad. He's dual wielding sniper rifles.
If you
He is a reference to something, and
if you can't figure it out,
I thought it was, yeah, I just thought it was fun.
If you can't figure out, I'm sorry, you were born too late. Next up, your Dark Furies.
These guys are amazing. They really just show up to make a squad disappear, and I usually have them jump the command squad.
Yeah, well, you have them there to, with Fukan Yu. I guess we should mention how you've decided to deploy your little army for those 2 games.
Yeah, go ahead, recap.
So, Saber pops down with, alright, time to start. I look across the board see, okay, he has nothing deployed. Strange. I throw down my units and deploy. He goes, okay, I infiltrate my 2 sniper veteran squads onto 2 objectives. Well, they're gonna have to survive a lot of shooting, but, it's not outside their own possibility for them to survive with good terrain placement and whatnot have you. And then 2 Mordathan squads pop in, and they cause a little bit of havoc pretty early on. I have to focus on them. And then turn 2 rolls around, and he rolled his number for his reserve roll, and
I didn't get it.
Did not get it. Then on turn 3, he got it though. And turn 3 is when 7 more Dathan dropped in, along with Fukan Yu.
7 Dark Furies.
Yeah, 7.
And Fukan.
Yeah, 7 Dark Furies, Fukan Yu, Resin Moonin, and Nevair Hugin all showed up. And what a Death Star of a unit.
I ran into attack his. They show up. They charge his unit with his Praetor and his Terminators, and yeah, a bonk and a lot of attacks, and that unit's gone.
Yeah, Dark Furies have a downright disgusting amount of attacks. They're quite snazzy.
Yeah. They really do just kind of show up and go, I'm gonna kill this entire army, or well, unit, I guess.
I guess I should also ask a little bit about modeling with this one. Why these style of jump packs?
I thought they looked cool.
That's a good answer. It's all it needs to be. And the lightning claws, you've painted a bonish yellow color.
Yeah, so those are painted to look like bone, and then they're kind of dry brush highlighted with like a kind of a bright yellow to give them a kind of electrical look. And this basically boils down to when I was 11, I did my lightning claws bone colored.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Nobody else does it.
It's true. No one else does do that.
And it does help him stand out a little bit more. The sergeant, one of his fingers on his lightning claws got broken off. And so I did it like the inside of lightning claws a gold color. So it looks like it's some weird material that who knows what it is. And Fukan Yu's his jump pack is done the ways because I wanted him to have a bigger jump pack than pretty much everybody else. Even though technically Librarian has one too, but it didn't really bother me because he's also sort of a command staffer.
Yeah. Oh, Fukanyu, you got a mighty hammer.
He's got a mighty hammer and he knocks the helmet through your own ass.
He does knock the helmet through your own ass.
Even though you're still wearing it.
And then the last up will be the last, it looks like the start of the next squad, which is a guy with a conifer and a guy with a grenade launcher.
Yeah, so the grenade launcher is another sergeant for another squad of snipers. The guy with the knife is literally he can go in whatever. He's a filler model. It never hurts to have a couple of those.
It's always a good thing to have.
Yeah.
And I guess I should ask, because your basing, it's quite different from some people's. In that
Yes,
you've decided to go with snow basing, which might depending on your area, but around here where we are, not common.
Yeah, so I went with snow basing, basically for the little story I wrote up for the company. What happens is they're there when the drop site massacre happens. Their ship gets attacked like many of the other ones do. So yeah, they manage to steal one of Horus's ships and flee. And their ship gets destroyed. They're on Horus's ship. That ship takes off just kind of randomly into space. It turns out that the ship was in fact one of Horus's more sciencey ships. They were doing research on it for a sort of teleportation deflection shield to help kind of prevent boarding. And they took that ship into the far end of space. Some of Horus's guys came after him to try and get the ship back. The Raven Guard ended up crashing it into a frozen world, an icy world. And while they're down there, the Horus and one of his admirals show up to try and get the data from that ship back. They manage to find the ship. They attempt to secure it. Turns out the Raven Guard had basically stole everything out of it and then dipped into the snowy wilderness of this basically ice world. It's a big, super cold world. It's frozen, and it has a very strong sort of electric kind of force to it, which really makes it hard to communicate. Electronics constantly fail, and well, this is a big problem for the Raven Guards, as without decent electronics and stuff, they start freezing to death. The Horus's guys up top are trying to come get him to get all their data back, and yeah, so they're running around the snow planet fighting the Sons of Horus, which is why Fukan Yu is standing on a Sons of Horus dreadnought.
Yes, he is.
And basically, they go on and they fight. The Horus's men are losing a lot more than they would like to admit, and so they end up going down there and trying to plant a bomb to just basically detonate and destroy the Raven Guard and everything else on the planet. The Raven Guard and them get into a fight. The Raven Guard take the bomb and sneak it back onto one of the dropships. The dropship heads back into space, blows up, takes out the entire fleet there, and then the Raven Guard who survive are basically just stuck on this planet till they freeze to death.
Nice, grim dark. It ends in tragedy. It's perfect for the setting.
Yeah, they go there, and yeah, it turns out both Praetors lost this battle. Or well, not the war. It's not really war. It's just I guess, a battle for this planet.
Campaign of sorts.
Yeah, both Praetors lost this campaign.
Yep. And it is a nice little story for a nice little army that will be growing in due time. Care to say what you plan to have it expand into, or?
Yeah, I don't mind. I plan on doing a squad of 3 box knots, all with las cannons.
Nice. It is the superior dreadnought.
Basically, the box knots are gonna sort of support the sniper teams by sitting back and sniping with them. They're really designed to be the anti-vehicle. Because right now, that's definitely the biggest issue with my army, is they're not good if you have a lot of heavy vehicles or dreadnoughts. So the last cannon dreadnoughts will help those. I also want to do a heavy weapons squad of last cannons. And I want to do some of the Raven Guard exclusive special Terminator
Deliverers.
the deliverers. I'm not gonna paint them red.
No, but why not?
I don't really think that makes sense. They will be painted in the same color scheme as everything else. Their sergeant will have a white helmet. Yeah, they'll be black and white with bone claws.
Nice.
And maybe a rhino or two to help stuff, because the rhino also gets infiltrate, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
If I put a squad in it. So maybe a rhino or two, so I can put a heavy or a multi-melt on that, so a little bit more anti-vehicle support.
Yeah, great. A multi-melt has spawned in front of me. Do you know I was fighting Usarki Creed here?
Yeah, pretty much. And that's pretty much everything I have planned. I might do jet bikes, because jet bikes are pretty crazy, and you can give them multi-meltas. That'd be another drop thing that I could do to have those when the reinforcements come out. They could spawn back by Scorpiuses and start shooting those with heavy flamers, or not heavy flamers, multi-meltas. That would be real good. Spoiler warning, by the way.
Oh. Alright, well. That has been a look at Saber's 89th Company of Raven Guard, a boarding company that meets a tragic fate. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
They do meet with a bad fate. But I feel like that also kind of fits within the setting.
It really does fit within the setting. A lot of people, when they do lore for their armies, they can forget the great Roman tragedy that is the setting.
I don't plan on getting Corvus Corax, because I think his model looks kind of poopy. And he doesn't seem very good comparative to most of the other Primarchs. I feel like the answer, if I had to fight another Primarch, would just be have Deliverers show up and get in their way until the game is over.
Just kind of hog tie him, or bog him down.
Yeah, I'd be like, listen, these guys are, well, they're tankier than most anything else I have, so yeah, they'll just kind of get in your way, maybe wound you a little bit, probably not win the fight, because they'll probably just die, because most Primarchs are insane. But yeah, so if I find a particularly cool model of Corvus Corax, that could change. But I've looked at a couple of third-party ones. I've looked at the Forge World one. They're just not great.
It's not doing it for you.
Yeah. Also, he has big goofy wings in some of them.
I've been told that that's actually causes him to be the worst Primarch model to transport, is because apparently those wings are super duper fragile.
Yeah.
Which I'm not surprised with how thin they are.
Yeah. So, if I find a cool one, maybe. I haven't found a random chick version of them, but that one also sucked.
Yeah. But
A
they're
neat idea, but it was terrible.
not the greatest of executions. But that has been Saber's 89th Company of Raven Guard. I look forward to when you expand on this and when you get up to another, however many,
Another 1,500 points.
another 1,500 points up. We'll probably do another one of these. And if you would like to read some of his fluff he made for the army in more detail, I will have that as a pinned comment below. Tell us what you think about his army, and then have a good day.
Should we credit the model maker for this stuff?
We'll
Do it at the end, maybe?
do it at the end because I might have to cut it. I might not. I'm not sure because of the whole letting people know where you got these parts.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. I won't do it then.
Yeah, the Mordathan have a downright hysterical amount of attacks.
Dark Furies.
Dark Furies have a downright hysterical amount of attacks. Fuck me, I keep saying. You know what? Fuck you, Ryan.
Want to redo that one?